Namaste. Welcome to the beginning of another live Sangha. I'm so grateful to be able to be here today. I trust that you are feeling as well as you can be in this moment, and despite whatever experiences you are having, be they challenging, you know that this too may pass, and your feelings are always a valid expression of what you're experiencing inside and out. Today is an extra special Sangha because it takes place on Sunday, which I like to dedicate to the spirit of ASMR. And although we won't be doing any tactile triggers or anything like that, I'll try to speak in a way that's soft and welcoming for everyone, with some nice frequencies in the background, and focus on relaxation, validation, affirmation, as well as not go into any topic that might keep you up at night. So, may I be your humble host? And if I'm not, you can hold me accountable to that. Our first guests are joining now. Welcome, dear spiritual vibes. And hello, dear guess who is the cutest? Thank you for your rose. Om Bhur-Bhuvaswa Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Hello, dear Neon Jello Pack. And thank you for your heart, me. Radhe, Radhe. And dear I Am Princess Mom, thank you for your heart, me. Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Welcome, dear Moy. Thank you for your like still. Welcome, dear Renee. I am so happy that we could all come here today. Now, I'd love to start by setting the intentions for this space. May the space be an inclusive environment, open to everyone, regardless of background, identity, orientation, belief system, ethnicity, etc. May we come together as fellow students of life to uplift each other, relate in one another's experience, and share positive sentiments. Thank you for the follow, dear Ashley. I'd also love to begin with an invocation of a Shanti mantra, a peace prayer taken from the Taittiriya and Katha Upanishads, which in the ancient language of Sanskrit goes something like this. Ham Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the divine nourish us both together. May the divine protect us both together. Just trying to remember the translation between that one and the next. May our studies be vigorous and effective. May we work conjointly with great ease, and may our studies be vigorous and effective. May we not mutually dispute or hate any. May there be peace in us. May there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. May it be so. Thank you. Guess who is the cutest? For your rose and heart, me. Harihi Om Tat Sat. May you ask, yes you may, what practices do you need to achieve Nirvana? Will meditation help? I will tell you a secret. Nirvana is something you have already achieved your entire life. Not just this one, in fact, nay, but all lives, you already are in Nirvana. This world is known as samsara, but its secret name is Nirvana. Indeed, meditation will help you realize that. Thank you for your rose. Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, dear Mariana, for the rose you sent too. Jaya Sitaram. Welcome, dear Usha Priyaji. Welcome, dear Jem. Welcome, dear lovable eccentricity. You're keeping the Sangha in your pocket again, and ruminations will be a pocket within a pocket. Indeed, when we read from the pocket Rumi, we will have a pocket in your pocket. So, for today, we will have no show and tell. No one submitted any in a while. But it's okay. The opportunity is always there in case there's anything in your life that you feel like you want to share with the people that come here. You can check out the show and tell submission form in the link tree in the bio. Then we'll have another reading of the book that we started last live stream, the Radiant Sutras, 112 Gateways to the Yoga of Wonder and Delight, by Lauren Roche, PhD. Last time we read the foreword by Shiva Ray and the front and back cover. Next we'll read the prelude today. It's a modern translation and commentary of the ancient Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. That will be all for Shravana, the portion dedicated to listening, and I'll listen with you as we read. And then we'll do some Manana, the section dedicated to processing our experiences. We'll have some Q&A and a question of the day relating to channeling our creative power. Then we'll have an intermission of some poetry reading by Rumi. And then we'll end with a Nididhyasana, a supplemental practice for realization, the final section of our Sangha. And tonight is the 8th night of Navaratri, the 9 nights of the goddess celebrated in India. So we will have a mantra for the 8th form of the goddess, a form that represents peace, purity, intelligence, and calmness, known as Maha Gauri. Thank you, dear Pegasus, for your rose. Hare Krishna. So I hope that sounds reasonable. I look forward to exploring all that with you today. And everyone is welcome to come and go as they please during that time. And thank you. Guess who is the cutest for your rose? Om Dum Durgaya Namah. And your book is coming today. Wow, that's very fast, dear I Am Princess Mom. Jim Terry, you share, you say prelude like prelude and get corrected, but you feel that you're right. I like that. The prelude. Well, there may be a couple parts of this book that may be lewd. I pray tell. Thank you, dear Karen, for your heart rate. Om Kamalir Maha Kalikaye Namah. And dear Karen, thank you for another friendship necklace. Thank you, I am Princess Mom, for your rose. Om Kuring Kalikaye Namah. Welcome, dearest Rari. Hello, Blackwood. Thank you. My day has been very peaceful thus far. I love that, I am Princess Mom. I'm sure it shall. And thank you, dear Neon Jello Pack, for your hand hearts and an octet of roses. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. And hello, Anna Music Note. I am doing well, thank you. How are you? And hello, Lise Marlene. Nice to have you here too as well. And thank you for your likes, dear Sophia. You're very good, Anna Music Note. I am enchanted to hear that. So without further ado, let's read the prelude of the Radiant Sutras. I very much look forward to this. Again, we're not really starting the real juicy parts yet. This is all just setting us up for a very transformative reading when we do get there next time. This will still be very informative, I'm sure. Hello, dear Medic Man. So, today we start the prelude of the Radiant Sutras. Let's dive right into it. The Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is one of the early teachings on yoga and meditation. The name, loosely translated, means the terror and joy of realizing oneness with the soul. The text is only about 2,000 words in the original Sanskrit, perhaps 40 minutes of chanting, yet those few words describe the essence of many of the world's meditation techniques. I call it the Radiant Sutras because it is so luminant, or luminous. This text is part of the ancient tantras, although how ancient we cannot say exactly. The first written version appeared in Kashmir around AD 800. Before that, it may have been handed down through the oral tradition, which means that it was memorized and chanted for generations. In ancient texts such as the Rig Veda, the word tantra refers to the technology of weaving, a loom, the warp. There is the image of stretching or weaving threads and patterns across the framework of a loom. Metaphorically, a tantra is a tapestry of knowledge weaving together the threads of yoga technique. A tantra is not poetry, although it may sound that way in the original Sanskrit and in translation. A tantra is a manual of practices. This one is a compendium of yoga meditation instructions set as a conversation between two lovers. Its focus is on full body spirituality and accepting every breath, sensual experience, and emotion as doorways to deep and intimate contact with the energies of life. A translation of this tantra came into my hands more than 40 years ago, and I have worked with the methods every day since then. It has been a love affair, and I am blessed. One day I started to write a fresh version, and it evolved into this book. A language of love The Bhairava Tantra is set as a conversation between the goddess, who is the creative power of the universe, and the god who is the consciousness that permeates everywhere. For short, they call each other Devi and Bhairava, or Shakti and Shiva. They are lovers and inseparable partners, and one of their favorite places of dwelling is in the human heart. This text feels as though it were composed by a couple, a man and a woman who sang the verses to each other as they co-created. As was the convention of the time, the authors chose to be anonymous and frame the conversation as one between the goddess and the god in them. The text has the feeling of one richly experienced body speaking with love to another body. Their inquiry is about how to enter into the vibrant essence of the world with the dual balance of passion and detachment. The teaching emerges from their love play, reminding us that from within our own hearts we are educated in the spirit of love. They lived this teaching. The secret pathways in the body and the flow of delicious energies are revealed in words that one friend or lover would speak to another. The text invites us to be at home in the universe by accepting every intense experience, every sensual delight, every ordinary moment as a gateway to the divine. The conversation begins with Devi asking, "Beloved, tell me, how do I enter more deeply into the reality of the universe?" In reply, Bhairava describes 112 techniques for becoming enlightened through everyday life experience. Each of these techniques is a way of attending to the rhythms, pulsations, and sensuousness of the divine energy that we are made of and that flows through us always. As we engage with these meditation techniques, we are alerted to the presence of the sacred that permeates our bodies. All of these methods involve savoring the incredible intensity underlying the most common experiences. They work by activating the senses, by extending the range of the senses further into the inner and the outer world. The basic dynamics of life, breathing, falling asleep, waking up, walking, loving, are all used as gateways to alignment and enlightenment. Each meditation is a deep dive into aliveness, into the underlying reality of what life is. Balance is there at every step. The unshakable serenity of the depths is used as a foundation so that we can tolerate the electrifying vastness of the universe. We are invited to cross the threshold, to walk by the guardian of the gate, to face our terrors, and make our way into the immense and timeless mystery that is always calling. Many of these meditation techniques are surprisingly informal. Notice a powerful emotion, sensation, or desire, and enter into that awareness with total abandon, so that you go with it right into the root movement of the universe. When making love, put your awareness into the flame of passion pulsating through the body and become that flame. Falling asleep, pay attention to the transition from waking consciousness to unconsciousness, and catch a glimpse of what consciousness itself is. Or go outside on a moonless night and simply merge with the darkness and vastness of space. The text also describes what we think of as traditional yoga meditations, ways of savoring breath, sound, and internal luminosity. The intimacy with the self implied in these teachings means that Tantra is not a set of techniques imposed from the outside. Rather, the method emerges naturally from one's relationship with the self and with life. Lose yourself in intense experience and find yourself. In this text, the word yoga is used in its etymological sense, the act of joining, linking together. Yoga is connecting all the elements and levels of your being. The tone of this text is playful and exploratory. Jump in and feel everything. Leela is Sanskrit for play, amusement, and the sense that the universe has been manifested as an act of play by the divine. Through play, find your way. In play, find freedom, revelation, illumination. Meditation as embrace. Taken as a whole, the teaching of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is startling in its breadth, in the huge range of human experience that it encompasses. It shatters the picture we have of what meditation is, or how meditation is often presented, as a way of dissociating from the human experience and trying to rise above it. There is not a hint of the usual life denial that permeates and distorts spirituality east and west. This Tantra is about going deeply into experience, embracing it fully, without reservation. Nature is embraced, as is all of human nature. Lust and passion become fires that illumine, and gusto is taken to its most refined degree possible. Meditation is presented as the nexus or meeting ground of light and matter, spirit and flesh, and the meeting is to be consummated with great joy. Tantric meditation is an integration of the opposites, not obliteration or mere transcendence of them. It is an alchemical union in which each polarity exists in its fullness and in a relationship of complementarity with the other. You'll find here, in one place, many of the essential techniques utilized in meditation traditions the world over. If some of the experiences that the sutras describe seem familiar to you as you read this book, it may be because you have invented your own private meditation techniques, ones you probably never tell anyone about. Or you may have had inexplicable realizations in the midst of some life experience. People who come for instruction in meditation usually have one or more of these awareness practices vibrating in their body already, spontaneously. This is what propels them to search. Sutras such as these are here to remind us of what we already know. They are here to invite us to go more deeply into the experience of being human. It is likely that the same meditation techniques are invented or discovered independently around the world in different cultures whenever people start paying attention to the subtle energies of the body. If this is true, then the Radiant Sutras is a syllabus of the types of techniques that could be discovered anywhere. In my experience, they are discovered and rediscovered continually by all lovers of life. This version. For the last 25 years, the text has been waking me up at 4 a.m, purring Sanskrit in my ear and calling me to come out and play. I walk around the pre-dawn for a few hours, whispering the sounds of the words of the timeless language, letting it teach me about itself. In this way, the Sanskrit has sung itself into modern English. The original Sanskrit of the Bhairava Tantra has a musical, mantric quality that massages the nerves like no other language I have ever heard. Sanskrit, like tantric meditation, is a union of opposites. The opposites embrace each other, as lovers do, as the eternally fascinating polarity of male and female, day and night, sun and moon. Sanskrit sings of rhythm, vibrancy, and the transmutation of terror into ecstasy, fear into movement, stasis into electricity. It evokes flow, tenderness, intimacy with oneself and the universe, informality, attentiveness, and responsiveness. Devi's opening statement to Bhairava gets my vote for one of the most enchanting phrases I have ever heard in any language. Chant it softly to yourself and listen. Shrutam deva maya sarvam rudrayam mala sambhavam. Beloved, I have been listening to the hymns of the creation. Many types of translations: academic, literary, historical, etymological can be done of this tantra, and yet each one conveys only a small part of its meaning. This version is a bhashantaram, a rendering of the text into the vernacular and a migration or reincarnation into another tongue. The language of the sutras is brief, meant to be read over and over. Each Sanskrit verse is only 32 syllables, intricately woven and saturated with a power of bliss, Ananda Shakti. Just as all of life is interconnected, one word of Sanskrit may have a spectrum of interconnected meanings, encompassing the realms of meditation, music, cooking, medicine, alchemy, sex, ritual worship, art, dance, theater, astronomy, astrology, and mathematics. These definitions are full of physical images that give clues to how to practice. For example, the word yoga has the central meaning of joining things together or hooking up. The first definition of yoga, listed in the Monier-Williams Sanskrit-English Dictionary, is the act of yoking, joining, attaching, putting to of horses, for example. If we look up the English phrase putting to, we see that it is a British expression for hitching up a horse, attaching the harness to the load. Yoga also means equipping or arraying an army, fixing an arrow on the bowstring, putting on of armor, and in medicine, a remedy or cure. Yoga can refer to any junction. In astronomy and astrology, a conjunction of the stars or planets. In grammar, the connection of words together. In arithmetic, addition, sum, total. In alchemy or chemistry, mixing different materials together is yoga. In spirituality, yoga can mean the union of the soul with matter, the union of the individual soul with the universal soul, and the disciplines that serve this union. If we take these images metaphorically, they are saying, get connected to your horsepower. the magic animal of your being. Arrange your forces, put on your protection, do the practices in a way that is a remedy, a cure for you. Know the stars that guide you. These are apt metaphors, yukta rupaka, for meditative experience. Tantra. The word Tantra has interesting resonances, each of which provides a vital clue to how to practice. The Tan of Tantra has a wide range of meanings, including to extend, stretch, spread, shine. When this root sound made its way to the West, it became ten, and we use it all the time when we say extend, tendon, tender, tension, entertain, intensity, and attention. To practice Tantra is to stretch ourselves, to extend our capacity for attention to the utmost. Tantra is also the pattern of interconnectedness we discover when we practice. Tenderness is important. This text is tender in its approach to human experience and encourages an earthy reverence in embracing your bodily sensations. Tantra denotes theory or system and often refers to a class of texts that are set as a conversation between the gods and goddesses, in this case, Bhairava and Devi. The Tra of Tantra means technique. The same root also shows up in mantra, from manas, mind, plus tra, skill, meaning a tool of thought, mantra. Each verse of a tantra is called a sutra. There's tra again, sutra, which means thread and is cognate with so or suture. The thread that joins together seam and kucher also are cousins of sutra. So, with the words tantra and sutra, we are presented with images of skillfully weaving together all elements of life: mind, body, emotions, breath, soul, individuality, and infinity, into one exquisite tapestry. Wordplay was a major form of entertainment in the tantric tradition, so there are often dozens of alternate or folk etymologies for these words. Jnana, spelled Jnana, sometimes spelled Gyan, is knowledge, to know. Vijnana means worldly, practical knowledge and skill. In this context, Vijnana refers to your knowledge body, your Vijnana Maya Kosha, the dimension of your body that is in direct practical contact with the mysteries of life. Life refreshes and evolves itself through a symphony of ongoing rhythms. Brains have waves, hearts pulsate, breath oscillates, the senses vibrate. Tantra can be thought of as attending to these rhythms. Breath is a rhythm, and we breathe in and out thousands of times a day. Breathing involves an intimate relationship between our bodies and the ocean of air within which we suspire. A dozen senses inform us of the rhythm, texture, and qualities in each breath. Life is always inviting us into a deeper relationship with breath, with the pulsing of our hearts and emotions. Reading the sutras and practices. In part 1, the Radiant Sutras, there are 3 forms of Sanskrit included with each sutra. The first form is Devanagari, which looks like this. The second form is a translation into Roman letters with diacritical marks to indicate pronunciation. And the third form of Sanskrit given is just the raw individual words spelt out phonetically to give a rough approximation of the pronunciation. That verse, for example, is Dhamandhakshobha sambhuta sukshmagnitilaka kritam. There are two numbers for most of the verses. The number accompanying the Sanskrit transliteration is the verse number, from 1 to 162. Devi and Bhairava banter for 23 verses, and then verse 24 marks the beginning of the 112 yogas, meditations, techniques, known in Sanskrit as yuktis or dharanas. These yuktis are also numbered from 1 to 112. You can follow the yukti numbers to their counterparts in part 2. Invitations and illuminations. There I unpack some of the juiciest Sanskrit words to shed additional light on each meditation as a way of allowing you to explore that technique more deeply. Lastly, savoring the sutras. The Radiant Sutras is a text to savor one phrase at a time, over a period of days or years. The verses are designed so you can read or listen to them for a lifetime and have a new revelation every day. Each of the meditations is meant to be experienced many times under many different conditions. As you become familiar with the practices, you will discover the tactile luminosity and improvisational music of your inner world. As your internal senses become more alert, doorway after doorway will open to you. The text wants to be thought and spoken in English as well as Sanskrit, whispered, chanted, delighted in, and danced. I am letting the text sing itself back into the spoken word. The sutras, remember, they were once songs, Charya Gita, songs of realization. Experiment with reading them out loud to yourself or to another person. The language is crafted so that you may be able to recognize your own innate spiritual experience and have a flash of recognition. The Bhairava Tantra is a love song between energy and consciousness, or Shakti and Shiva, and the musical and mantric impulses of their creativity are pulsing in us always. Pardon me. These verses, lost my voice, 1 second. We're almost done. These verses are an invitation to wake up to the marvelous symphony within and around us. When you discover one sutra that resonates deeply, memorize it. Then you will, as they say, know it by heart. Something happens in the body when you can say a sutra out loud or quietly to yourself. There is a relaxation, an ease, a confidence. When you can rest your attention inside a sutra and the words flow effortlessly. Tantric texts want to be performed. They are not comfortable being hidden in books. Anytime you read a phrase tenderly and let yourself be carried away, even for a minute, you are performing a sacred act, offering your attention to the mystery of being alive. The sutras tend to lay the groundwork for each other, but you don't have to go through them in sequence. Some of the techniques will speak to you now, and others will only have meaning after you have explored them for a while. When I began meditating, the techniques in the first few sutras and one in the middle kept me busy for a year. Your pace may be faster or slower. One way to explore the text is to pick one technique, whichever one strikes you, and practice it for 3 months. Give it time to work. Then read the sutras again and see if it is time to move on or to include another technique in addition to the one that you have been doing. The invitations and illumination section following the sutras gives some tips for going deeper into the exquisite world of these practices. The text says that if you go deeply into even one of these ways of experience, making it your own over time, you will awaken. Meditation is sambhavana. I think I added a syllable at the end. Sambhava. Sambhava. Intimacy with what you love about life. Take one thing and go deeper and deeper into it. Dive into your entire sensorium so fearlessly that you go beyond it into the core of your being and rest there. Love calls our attention and engages us. When we give love our tender attention, we are in the realm of Tantra. Life is a mysterious, self-renewing process. The techniques of meditation are ways of allowing the ecstasy of life force at play to renew our bodies and souls. Ask your body to teach you and to take you on adventures into intimacy with your own essence. This is the yoga of wonder and delight. Thank you for listening. That has been the prelude to the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra in the Radiant Sutras. I hope that has wet your whistle into diving into full body spirituality. We'll start exploring verse by verse this sacred Sanskrit text next time, which I very much look forward to. If that brought out any reflections, insights, or curiosities, you are always welcome to share them. Namaste. Oh, I felt that sneeze with my full body. That concludes our Shravana section of our Sangha, dedicated to listening. I welcome everyone that joined while we were reading, and now we can transition to a manana, the section dedicated to Q&A and exploring whatever's in our hearts and minds. Om Namah Shakti Shivaya. Thank you to those who sent a gift whilst we read. Dear Medic Man, thank you for your heart me. Om Bram Bhairavaya Namo Namah. Thank you for the popular vote you sent too. Dear Kathleen, thank you for your pair of roses. Om Kali Maha Kali Kalike Parameshwari Sarvananda Kare Devi Narayani Namostute. Dear Nikki, thank you for your popular vote and heart me. Om Brahm Hanumate Namah. Dear Dob Darker, thank you for your heart me. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Dear New Sense, thank you for your hat mustache. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And dear Franklin, thank you for your heart me an ice cream cone. Om Alm Saraswatyai Namah. Dear Giuliano, thank you for your popular vote. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye Mahamedham Prajñam Prayacha Swaha. Thank you, dear Rhiannon, for your heart beam. Om Tham Namaschandraya. And dear Liam, thank you for your rose and heart beam. Om Shri Mahalakshmiyai Namah. Dear Ono, thank you for your half a dozen roses. Om Namo Buddhaya. Dear Usha Priyaji, thank you for your hanging lights. Om Sum Suryaya Namah. And thank you for your hand hearts as well, dear Usha Priyaji. Thank you, I see you TikToking for your rose. Om Som Somaya Namah. The link below. Thank you for your 11 rosas. Om Namah Karlim Ambita Me Shoring Nadita Me Hring Devita Me Aim Saraswatyai Swaha. And dear Oren, thank you for your heart beam. Om Ham Ham Hrim Hrim Namah Shakti Shivaya Shiva Shaktyai Nama Om. And thank you for everyone's patience as I reflected my gratitude back to those who sent a gift. Thank you for stopping by, dear Jim. Dear Nikki, you shared that someone dear passed yesterday. You're struggling today. Keep crying. My heart goes out to you and the departed, dearest Nikki. Crying is a gift, just as we were talking about in the prelude of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, every bodily experience can connect you with your core. Your tears are a beautiful reminder that you are human and sensitive, and the love you carry is very real. I had the question of the day up already. I just noticed. I planned on having that up later, a little later. But if anyone answered that already, I'll be happy to read those answers out anyway. Greetings, dear Orim. I'm happy that you find the setup calming. Dear VNTC, nice to have you here, dear Orianan. Speaking of which, it's so great to have the masculine saying that crying is a gift, of course. All expression is valid, given what you are experiencing, inside and out. And hello, dear Michelle. Thank you for your blessings, dear Medic Man. And goodbye, dear. Guess who is the cutest? And I love that you are very connected to Tantra, just innately, dear Ruri. Welcome, dear Julie Cooper. I'm glad you connect with various forms of the Divine Feminine, dear MD, like Kali and Lilith. Hello, dear human question mark. I hope you get some rest soon. That'd be hilarious if this book was by Lionel Richie. Welcome, dear Laine. I am Princess Mom. You ask, so is this considered a non-dual tantric work? It mentions the fullness of polarity, so you're not sure. The beautiful thing about Tantra is that it's neither non-dual nor dual. In fact, to the Tantrikas, this universe is both dual and non-dual. In other words, there's a non-duality between non-duality and duality, and the duality that spans them. Isn't that beautiful? Hello, dear Kenji. Thank you, dear Anapols, for your heart me. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. And thank you, dear Ono, for your tiny yippee. Much love, dear Ida Hale. Welcome, dear Doom Knight. Hello, dear Freya. Hello, Franklin. Welcome, dear G. Thank you, dear Buttercup. What's patchouli? I forget what that is. Namaskar, dear Maitri. Thank you. Yeah, I'm blending into the background today, dear Rhiannon. Sensorium is such a great word, isn't it, dear Rhiannon? You're very welcome, dear Julie and Dragon's Breath. Dear I am Princess Mom. And you're welcome, Rhiannon Clark. Thank you for the blessings, dear Ono, Julie, Buttercup, Rhiannon, and I am Princess Mom. Am I coming down with something, dear Kimberly? I'm quite healthy and happy. My voice is relaxed today for ASMR Sunday. And you know, it is spring, lots of pollen in the air. I had a good walk. Probably why I sneezed. And thank you, dear Kristen, for your heart meme. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. The power of channeling your creativity can give successful survival. That's very true. survival situations certainly require a lot of creativity. And thank you for smiling, dear Medic Man. Welcome, dear Girly Pop. I'm happy you would prefer these earlier lives, dear Renan, or love these. Greetings, dear Oren. Thank you for reminding me about your pinned post, dear Lethujan. I might forget, as I often enter a flow state during these live streams, and afterwards, if you were to ask me what happened, other than the general vibe, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So maybe you can reach out on another platform, since I don't accept inboxes here, on Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, or even email. You can send me a link to your post and I can watch it for you. And thank you, dear Jason, for your heart me. Jaya Satchitananda. Much love to you. I look under the weather. Oh, I'm feeling very happy and healthy, dear Maitri. I'm just very relaxed for ASMR Sunday, and I had a nice walk in the rain. I love the Tibetan script that you shared, dear Benoit. I like the energy here too, dear Jessie. It's both yet neither, non-dual and dual, yet neither, both nor neither. Dear Ariels, you ask, how do we cope with all the evil things going on? By remembering all the good that's going on also. And that everything that might seem evil is a place for us to put some love to. Dear Lethujan, you share the sacral chakra of passionate creativity is orange, like my shirt and background. It's very true. Yeah. Nice to see you again, dear Jinvictus. Dear Ono, you're wondering if I've ever done the 16 personality test. If you had to guess, you feel I would be INFJ. I prefer not to answer that question, thank you. That was invented by a psychologist to aid in capitalism, as it is used in a workplace to segregate people based on their apparent personality. It's not founded in any real psychology, and it's one of those things that's still used today to put people into boxes. There are models that can gauge certain markings in psychology. For example, the ocean model is backed by psychologists. That's the O for openness, C for conscientiousness, E for extroversion, A for agreeableness, aversion, A for agreeableness. I think my internet disconnected me for a moment. If my connection has returned, please let me know, as I'd like to continue where I left off, so that you don't miss anything. We're back, okay. Yeah, in conclusion, there are some models that psychologists can use to explore differing qualities in people's personalities. The 16 personality type model is not one of them. It would fall under the realm of pseudo-psychology, I believe. But the Big Five, the ocean model, is used, but it also changes over time also. And so a person is never fixed in any one personality type. All of us have infinite dimensions to us, more than just those five, and we change in all of those things throughout our life. I wish for all my Sanghis that they discover the infinitude of their being beyond any particular label. Know that you are truly vast and unlimited, and you get to choose how you want to be in each moment. Thank you, dear Sea Flow, for your heart meme. Sarvaya Namaha. Thank you, dear anonymous tipster. Thank you, dear Sea Flow. Dear XV, now this. You share you have anxiety. What's the best to do? When you have anxiety, the best thing to do is be anxious. I know it sounds funny to say. Maybe the last thing you want to hear if you are experiencing anxiety right now. But truth be told, the best way to allow an emotion to come and pass is be with it. Be curious about your own feelings. Invite them in for a cup of tea, perhaps. Communicate with that part of you like it were a friend, and that friend is trying to alert you of something. What is it that your friend needs you to know? Listen closely. Know that even if the words that come from that part of you are jarring, that they are not meant to harm you, but teach you something probably difficult, but ultimately worthwhile in your journey of peace. So, if you can find a way to even relax into the sensation of anxiety, feel it with your body, breathe into it, know that the sensation is not going to kill you. It is just a sensation of a part of you wishing to express something to you. Allow it to be there. Bring love to that part of you and even feel loved in return. And this too shall transform. Thank you, dear Jason, for your rose and quintet of jester cats. Ham Jum Sah Taryambakam Yajamahe Sugandhyam Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Iva Bandhanan Marityor Mukshiya Mamritat. It's a beautiful quote, dear Lethujan, from Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Dear Lorem, you ask, what's my thought on astrology, zodiac signs? Astrology, like many forms of divination, including readings, tarot, for example, horoscopes, they're all a way of accessing what's called your Prarabdha Karma. If you're ever curious to know what fruit, palam, from past actions, karma, are going to come to fruition in this birth, Prarabdha, then astrology, then divination, tarot, readings, horoscopes, these can help you understand what external experiences you are going to face. However, your Prarabdha Karma is secondary to what's called your Kriyamana Karma. Your Kriyamana Karma is the actions that you take from the inside, regardless of what you experience on the outside. And a lot of spiritual teachers will tell you that you don't even have to know your Prarabdha Karma in order to find success on your spiritual path, because your spiritual path is dictated solely by your Kriyamana Karma, the actions that you consciously take in this life, regardless of the past actions that are coming to fruition for you today. And thank you, dear Gina, for your heart, me, and Rose. Om Namah Shivaya. Dear Lethujan, have I heard the theory that Sri Krishna is a name symbolically representing the great attractor? I've not heard of that, but you're absolutely right that Krishna in Sanskrit means the all-attractive one, and there is a gravitational anomaly in Laniakea, our galaxy's supercluster, that is pulling all of the galaxies nearby towards it. The full translation of the name Krishna is the one that attracts your heart, however. And the great attractor of your heart is not found anywhere outside in the universe, but found inside your heart. Krishna is the sweetness of bliss that permeates your consciousness. And all of that deliciousness inside attracts your heart to it. And so, that form of the divine, as the Paramatma, the Supreme Self, is known as Sri Krishna. And hello, dear moi, for your heart, me. Thank you. Om Narayanaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. And dear Estelle, thank you for your heart, me. Om Radhe Krishna. Hello, dear Allison, Marg, Rahina, and thank you for sending the link, dear Lethujan. Hello, dear Mariham. Welcome, dear Dr. Camellia. I'm glad you like the music, dear Usha. Hello, dear Gina. Thank you for being here. It's very kind of you, dear Rahina. I certainly don't feel worthy to accept such a beautiful title, but may we all become representatives of the all-attractive sweetness and love that exists as our highest self. Dear Michael Taylor, you ask, have I gone anywhere exotic to study? The most exotic places to study are found in the most exotic practices that you can do anytime and any place, exploring the limitations and confines of your body and mind. You will reach jungles, deserts, and sea of the flesh and the psyche. There's a whole pilgrimage to take in exploration of your three bodies: physical, astral, and causal. I like that, dear Lethujan. Every step you take towards your higher self takes a step towards you, or takes a leap towards you, in fact. And thank you, dearest Thou, for your heartbeat and Jester Cat. Om Marjaraya Namaha. I'm happy to hear that, dear Biggie Peanut. So, I have a question of the day for all of you. Today my question of the day is, what is the power of channeling your creativity? This I'd love to explore with you. When we channel that power within us, what does it do? What does it come from? What is its nature? What is it for? Dear Holly, you share. Sharing and healing others. Well said. I can see the truth in that. Through our creativity, we connect others together. And in our own vulnerability, in our own humanity, stemming from the heart, our creativity is so healing in the validation of the experiences that we either knowingly or unknowingly share with others. And hello, dear Gauri. Thank you for your likes, dear angel. I do kind of look a little under the weather with the white balancing. I'm just noticing from the pink light. Normally I don't stream with a pink light, but I've set it recently to turn on pink at 1 p.m. There, that's a little brighter. Thank you, dear Carrie, for your hanging lights. Om Parashaktai Namaha. Dear Lethujan, you share. Allowing the universe itself to take part in your creation is power of your authentic self. I love that. Thank you, dear Melissa, for your rose. Hare Krishna. And dear Estelle, you share self-development and finding freedom as very powerful. Thank you, dear Carrie. Dear Mariham, you think your soul, if it makes you happy for that, indeed. Namaste, dear Melissa. Dear Rhiannon Clark, you share expression of one's uniqueness of expression is important in connection with spirit. Yes, we all share an infinitesimal slice of the universal soul each. And it is our solemn duty to express that unique part. And thank you, dear Carrie, for another hanging light. Om Vastave Namaha. That's funny, dear Nikki. Dear Estelle, Thank you for your trio of roses. Bhumyai Namaha. Michelle, you share you don't know if it's selfish, but you're doing it purely for yourself to process your feelings. And as you process your feelings, you become even better at holding space for others' emotions. So that's not selfish. Dear Celine, you share self-love and tranquility. These are powers of channeling our creativity. Indeed. Riri, you share that creativity makes you feel alive. I love that. Dear Anne, you share keeping your composure when things get hard. I like that. And I like the autocorrect to composer, keeping your composer, the little person inside you that's composing the music of your life. That's a good digital Freudian slip with the help of autocorrect. Dear Dawn, you shared helps us connect with others and with oneself. That is very true, isn't it? Dear Taylor, you share creating art for you is the result of attempting to express uniqueness. I love that. That's so true. The divine is holy. I very much concur, dear Carrie. Thank you for the suggestion for everyone, dear Lethujan. Hello, dear Freya. Grand now moment, indeed, dear Iris. Welcome. Good afternoon, dear Celine. May we be blessed every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year, of every decade, of every century, of every millennium, of every age, of every epoch, of every universe. Dear Freya, you share you don't fully understand the question. Well, I'm happy to help you understand the question. When we are being creative, when we are channeling that ability within us to make art, to dance, to sing, to perform to music, when we are putting things together in new ways for the creation of something that's never been done before, honing in your talents, practicing that skill. What power is there? What is the purpose? What is the duty that you are undertaking during that all? Why are you doing this? And for what great cause does it fulfill? What are some of the secret, lesser known possibilities that your creativity unlocks? That sort of thing. Melissa, you share that we are constantly creating our reality, and you focus daily to create it beautifully. I love that. Thank you for being a part of this grand creation. Hello, dear Ginger Bear. And thank you, dear Carrie. You are lovely too. I'm glad that you love music. You create what you think, dear Mariham. It's very powerful. Icha Shakti, it's called. Dear Lethujan, you share, when you channel your creativity, you get to involve your soul's truest self-expression. I love that. You like to draw and play your guitar, shares Carrie. That's wonderful. Art is meditation. Exactly, dear Riri. I love orange too, dear Carrie. I'm glad we could share that. Rhiannon Clark, you share. It's a conversation between our consciousness and unconscious. It's profound. Yeah. Lethujan, you share, like art in the eye of the beholder, an artist's power of creativity comes from their inner spirit. Such wonderful reflections, everyone. Thank you. Michael, you share, channeling your creativity offers personal benefits, leading to a richer, more fulfilling life. I love that answer. Did your comment go through, asks Freya. I don't think it did. I'm sorry. You can try to rephrase it. Let's see if it comes through, rewording it slightly. Thank you for your patience and for asking if it did. If I do miss a comment, it is quite likely that it just didn't come through. Anna Poles, you share, that is accomplishing your mission on planet Earth. Yeah, so true, dear Anna. Dear Freya, you share, this came through now. Creativity helps you connect with your friends and make new friends and strengthen our bonds. Definitely. Thank you, dear Eira, for your heart meme. Ram Ram. And thank you, Trond, for the rose you sent. Im Namo Vishnave. Have I already answered the question myself, asks Iris. No, I usually like to leave it at the end so that I give you all the floor first. But I think it would be a good time to answer, as it seems like so many of you have given your beautiful answers already. I'm going to minimize the question of the day there for now. But thank you, everyone, for sharing your experience with the power of channeling your creativity. I would say the hidden power of channeling your creativity is that you are directly interfacing with the source, with the potential for creation. There is no coincidence that we associate the divine with creativity, as a creator, as a creatrix, as creation. That word create is there in us as creatures as well. The creative energy flows through us all, and when we can channel that, we are truly connecting with the source. An analogy comes to mind in physics with the law of conservation of momentum, or the law of every action having an equal and opposite reaction. That if you allow yourself to have the divine flow through you to others, then you will also be pulled, because you will be pushing away all this creative energy out into the world. And since every action must have an equal and opposite reaction, that flow must push you closer and closer back into that source. Lethujin, you had asked, how do you meet your creative soul family on this app? People with similar artistic passions. I think you cultivate an algorithm that speaks to your heart, that reflects your interests, and you engage, interact, ask for collaborations, and be open to some in return. Dear Miel, you ask, is it normal to get really spinny while meditating? Yeah, vertigo, that can happen to many meditators. If you find it to be overwhelming, you can keep your eyes open. You don't have to close your eyes. In fact, it's said that yogis keep their eyes half closed, which also means their eyes are half open. That might be stabilizing. Another really strange piece of advice, if you don't want to spin, is to literally imagine yourself not spinning. It sounds funny, but I'll never forget, I was listening to someone describe their experience on ayahuasca, and he was telling the shaman while the trip was getting more and more tense, I feel like I'm spinning, I'm spiraling. And the shaman just said, don't. Stop. Don't do that. And the guy was like, oh. It's my own energy creating that sensation. If I don't give energy to that, if I just stabilize, I won't feel that. So I truly do believe that you also have the power to do that, just like the shaman. Like that shaman, tell your mind, don't do that. Stop that. Spinning in your head is fun, shares Kimberly. Can you tell us more about what that means? I wonder if that's one of those universal experiences that we don't realize that other people do. Spinning in your head. Sounds good, dear Mia. Which creature is the most creative? Peacock, tiger, caterpillar and butterfly, and humans to humans, or we all tap into that creative power in different ways. Just like no particular color on a canvas is more colorful than another, all colors come together to form a full and vibrant palette. So too, all of the creatures in this world, they are so colorful in their own unique ways and add to the vibrant palette of life all around. You're welcome, dear Eddie. You're welcome, dear Iris. You went into a dreamy place when I was explaining that earlier, dear Rhiannon Clark. Oh, that sounds like a good thing. No, I've never tried ayahuasca, dear Melissa, at least not in this life. Don't need to. Life is already a trip. Rhiannon Clark, you ask, when you were a kid, did you squeeze your eyes to see stars? You did. Of course, yeah. I actually had a funny name for it. I called it seeing toast, because for some reason I thought it looked like toast. Like I could make out the shape of bread being toasted. like the toast dimension for some reason. And the fractal grain of the bread would change. It would change wonderful colors, the rainbow toast dimension. Hello, Jeriso473. What was my previous life, asks Holly. Probably terrible, because I'm so grateful for this one. I've been so blessed in this life. I can't imagine that my past life was anything better. And I've learned some hard lessons that clearly I haven't learned yet. Otherwise I wouldn't have been faced with such challenges in this one. So I'm very blessed to be able to learn so many lessons in this life. Dear Michael, you share the termites are pretty creative, the way they build their dirt mounds. Absolutely. Yeah. Do I have synesthesia, asks Olski. I think we all do. For instance, I'm just making random sounds right now, and you are associating these sounds with meaning. I could say any other random sound. But you don't associate meaning with those sounds. But for some reason, there's a very specific meaning to these words when they follow each other, one after the other. When I tell you to imagine a tree with leaves, you probably see the shape of something with branches and little green droplet-looking things, two-dimensional water droplet shaped with lines on them collecting sunlight. But is there really anything tree-like about the sound tree? I mean, the sound tree is just a random sound. Same with leaf. Leaf is just a random sound, but there's a certain visualization that's associated with that sound. So if you can speak in any language, then you have synesthesia, because language is synesthesia. Without synesthesia, we could not communicate through sound or through script or through hand signs. It's the correlation of two completely different senses. So synesthesia is innately human, given that we all have the ability to do that in some way. That's my Irish ancestors shares Rhiannon. Irish people are obsessed with toast. It's funny, I did have toast today actually as well. Hello dear Denise, and greetings Penelope from Greece. What does squeezing your eyes do? Asks Ruri. I assume it applies pressure on them, and that pressure for some reason activates your retina. I know that our eyes are filled with fluid. Maybe that pressure squeezes on the fluid of your eye in some way, and that fluid interacting with your retina generates all these vibratory and fluidic patterns. I know that it is a good way to release tension of your eyes if you are gentle. If you're very gentle, if you put too much pressure, you'll just increase in the tension of your eyes. So don't do that. Dear Enzo, you ask, where are our emotions guiding ourselves towards? Everything draws you back to the source of your being. If you follow it, everything leads back to you. Dear Mia, you had asked, how can we not feel embarrassed of our creations? embarrassment is beautiful. I love seeing people embarrassed. It's so cute, and I love being embarrassed. I love the feeling of my cheeks blushing, of being caught, or having someone see a part of me I didn't expect to express or be seen. Yeah, I love embarrassment. Why do you not want to feel it? It's a beautiful emotion. Thank you, dear Georgie. Welcome, dear Deus. Hello, the singing bats. Dear Lethujan, you share the Tamil alphabet has over 200 letters because it made a letter for every sound our mouth can make. That's really interesting if it's true. I know that Tamil comes from Brahmi, and Brahmi has a base script of only about 50 letters, but rather than being an alphabet, it's an abugida, which means that it modifies the consonants to make different syllables and consonant conjuncts. I think Tamil also carries this property from its ancestor of Brahmi, and it also has a base set of about 30 or 40 letters, but when those letters come together, or different vowel signs are made, and different conjuncts, then they change, just like the other Brahmic scripts like Devanagari. And if you wanted to memorize every single consonant, conjunct, and diacritic corresponding to every syllable, then indeed it would be thousands of different individual letters. But it's all based on a small set of building blocks. Just like our universe, made from only a handful of elements, but from the infinitude of ways those elements can combine with each other, we get this great and complex cosmos. And thank you, dear Ashley, for your heart meme. Om Ilmaya Shaktai Namaha. Dear Freya, you share you are blind in your left eye, and you can only make out light and dark, but squishing your eye you can see movement. It makes you very happy. That's very wholesome. That's fun. How often do you squish your eye? You know, is it every few months you go, oh, that's right? Or is it like a daily thing for you? You just like to play around with your eye? Just out of curiosity. You rode the merry-go-round too much when you were little, dear Kimberly. Your subconscious is still riding it, spinning and spinning. It feels so vulnerable. You think that's why, dear Mio? Well, that's how you know you're creating good art. Dear Riri, you ask device that has a screen. Really? I see lines and swirls and clouds. But I can also see how some people would describe that as black if they weren't paying closer attention to the subtle movement of energy over top of that visual field. There's auras, gradients, there's all sorts of static-like experiences, like those little dots tingling everywhere, for example. I'd love to learn Tamil one day, dear Lethujan. Welcome, dear Melomedia. How are you today? Hello, dear Ashley. Hello, dear BT. I am having a good Sunday so far, thank you. And thank you for being here, dear Michael. Hello, dear Taco. Thank you. I will be reminded to hydrate. Dear Melissa, you ask, what do I think we'll be doing in the future of humankind in the next 1,000 years? All I know is that if we are constantly thinking of the future, then even in 1,000 years, we'll still haven't solved the problems that exist in the present today. So, let's indirectly create a brighter future by giving our full awareness to the present moment, the world that exists today, knowing that in this world is the seeds for all possible futures if we just sow the right ones, water and nourish it. The future will take care of itself. And if we do that, I see that today we have the possibility to create a future that synergizes both our ancestral, naturalized ways and our modern, digital, technological ways. I see a path forward that balances these two things in harmony. We can use technology to help the world heal, and we can use the healing innate in the world to use technology more ethically. Thank you, dear Gina, for your rose. Om Ram Brahmane Namaha. Thank you, dear Silas. I see that as a possibility too, dear BT. Tonight is the 8th night of Navaratri, dear Kimia. The 8th night is dedicated to a very peaceful, calm, and intelligent form of the goddess. She is known as, if I remember correctly, it's not coming to me. Maha Gauri. Gauri means resplendent. Maha means great. It's the great resplendent one. Of course, dear Mirami. All of life takes place in this moment. Dear Freya, you ask, do I have any tips on dealing with becoming overexhausted from work physically? Rest as much as you can. And even during the day, remember that there's all sorts of muscles that don't need to be flexed. A great secret of many athletes is that especially for endurance tasks, like long runs, bikes, swims, or when members of a sport have to play a game for hours on end, they learn how to flex only the muscles needed. For example, when you're rowing, At the start of your stroke, you use your arms and everything else. Oh, sorry, I got it the reverse. At the start of a rowing stroke, you use your legs and everything else is as relaxed as possible while keeping firm. And then once your legs are fully extended, then you use your core and you lean back. And then after that, then you use your arms, and then vice versa in return. So at the start, you're only using your legs, then only your core, then your arms, which means that for 1/3 of the time that your legs are being used, the other 2/3, your core and your arms are actually relaxing. So technically speaking, each muscle group is relaxing for more time than it is being exerted, because you're exchanging from your legs to your core to your arms. And that allows you to row for a much longer period of time whilst engaging every muscle group. So too, while you're at work, whatever it is that you do, make sure that you are exerting only what needs to be exerted and leave everything else relaxed too. And make sure that your mind is relaxed as well. When your mind is relaxed, your whole body is carried with such ease that even if you are doing something quite physically demanding, it is not as taxing on the body given a peaceful mind. Imagine spending a whole day working hard physically. One day you do the whole day also mentally stressed. You still get everything done, but mentally you're complaining the whole time. You're stressed about how long you have to go. You're thinking about whether your coworkers are actually going to help you or not. And then the next day, you do exactly everything you did before, but this day you thought positively, clearly, simply through the whole day. You didn't let your mind be exerted. You simply let the mind relax even while your body was toiling away. At the end of which day are you going to be more exhausted? Obviously the first day. The second day, you might even still have energy because your mind has been calm and relaxed the whole time. I hope that helps. Dear Freya. Hello, dear Cliche. I am feeling well. How are you? Dear Michelle, you hope we haven't destroyed the beautiful planet Earth by then. Oh, the future is just an idea. The world, our beautiful Mother Earth, is still here today, and if we continue to take care of it in this moment, she will be alive and well for a long time. Me too, dear Zanesh. Hello, dear Kimia. And dear Merami, you're sure Earth can recover from anything we've done. I truly believe in that too. Lethujan, you share that Gauri is your mother's name. Oh, I love that. Well, this mantra will be in part dedicated to her. And thank you, dear Lucy Ashes, for your rose. Om Ram Shikhandane Namaha. Dear Insert, you had asked, what do you do when you feel that you need more energy? you recharge. When your phone needs more energy, you plug it in. How do you plug in? Well, you enter deep sleep, reunite with source self consciousness. Or you can meditate. And when, no matter how much you sleep or meditate or rest, none of it affects your energy, then it sounds like you need to budget your energy better. If no matter how much you charge your phone, by the time you want to do something with it, it's 1%, well, how did that 99% go? What did I spend my time? Did I have all these apps open in the background? Did I have like 100 apps? Did I have my camera app going? My camera was going, my phone was overheating. There was a video playing, I had my data on. I drained so quicker that way. So, next time, charge your phone completely. Then, make sure you use each thing on your phone one at a time. You don't leave any apps running on the background. You don't spend extra time with your camera on. You become more efficient in that way. So too, with this mind, you've got apps running in the background, don't you? At one level of consciousness, you're thinking about when to buy groceries this week. On another level, you're worrying about bills to pay. On another level, you're thinking, will my partner return the favor that I did for him the other night? On another level, you're thinking, my goodness, there's this initiative in the community that I want to join, but I haven't found the time to go and sign up yet. You've got all these background tasks going. Try to clear them all and just focus on one thing at a time. Hone your mind to have one powerful train of thought where it's channeled and directed like a laser. You will find your battery life extending a lot longer. Thank you, dear Lucy, for your rose. Urlam Ashwini Bhyam Namah. Cliche, you had asked, how can one become more present in the present moment? To not exert or use unnecessary muscles to maximize results or efficiency like a machine. Well, I think that was taking on to our conversation before. How can one become more present in the present moment? Notice that you are either using your faculty of imagination or your faculty of memory. If you're not present, you must be using either one of these things. You're imagining a possible future, or you are remembering a past experience. So, what's in the middle between your imagination and your memory? What's between is your ability to think about something that's occurring to you in this moment. In this moment, what can you be grateful for? In this moment, how do you feel? In this moment, what do you have to do? In this moment, what are you doing? And how can you do that with the fullness of love, the fullness of your consciousness? And if you must use your imagination of the future or memories of the past, how is that relevant to you in this moment? Try to connect it back to now. If you're thinking of the past, how have I grown since that time? What would I do differently today? Or if you're imagining the future, you can ask yourself, what can I do today that would be a stepping stone in that direction tomorrow. And thank you, dear Lucy, for your heart me. Virabhadraya Namaha. You're very knowledgeable about the Bhagavad Gita, dear Lethajam. My goodness, you are a hard worker, dear Kristam. I know what that's like, dear BT. Sometimes you're so tired before and during work, but right after leaving it, it goes away. What does that tell us about the nature of our mind? Have I seen the movie I Origins? It's a really nice spiritual one. I don't think I have, dear Melissa, but I always like to have movie recommendations. Today you saw a UFO, shares Lucy. Wow. Did you know that you are a UFO? An unidentified flying object? Because you are unidentified, nobody can figure out who you truly are. A cosmic mystery, and you are flying through time. And as an object of this world, you are part and parcel of the divine. You are a UFO. Dear Lethujan, what are my thoughts on the Gaia theory? The Earth being a living entity, like a celestial. Well, of course it's alive. You and I are a part of it. And we are very much alive. And where did we come from? We came from nowhere other than the Earth. So clearly the potential for life existed in the soil, and over billions of years, life sprung from it. This world is therefore very much alive, and she is our mother, Mother Earth. And thank you, dear Ness, for the heart that you sent. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Dear the singing beds, you experienced a not very nice energy or spirit today, but my life is reminding you of peace. Focus on peace, and all negative entities or energy shall leave you. Dear Mia, you ask, do I have any tips for sleep paralysis or seeing entities? Use that time to meditate. The best time to meditate is when your body is still. And most of us, especially if you're neurospicy like myself, have a hard time keeping our bodies still while awake. But in sleep paralysis, literally, your body couldn't be any stiller. So use that time to meditate. I remember when I realized that I had sleep paralysis, and I thought, my goodness, I can't move. It's so scary. But then I thought, well, I know that it's only temporary, and it always comes to pass. I am still asleep, dreaming. What can I do in the meantime with my mind? Well, whenever I try to meditate while awake, I can never keep my body still. So I might as well try to meditate while my body is forcefully still. And then as soon as I entered meditation, oh my God, I couldn't even begin to describe the bliss I felt, like instantaneously, just dissolved into light. So yeah, Now I actually look forward to sleep paralysis because it's such a relaxing time when your mind does not see it as a threat, but as a time to meditate in such unparalleled stillness. Lethujin, you share the water is the blood of the world, air is her lungs, grass is skin, crust is skeleton, lava is stomach, life is heart. I love that. These are all beautiful. Sounds like what's written in the Vedas, where it's said that in the universe, in our solar system, the sun is its eyes, the moon is its mind, the earth is its feet, the wind is its prana, its vital breath. I understand that, dear Anne. Am I a yogi? Yogi or bhogi? I'm a bhogi on my way to becoming a yogi. You're welcome, dear Inser. The magnetosphere is consciousness. Ionosphere is electromagnetic aura. You have a beautiful mind, dear Lethujim. And so you had asked, when and how did I start my spiritual transformation? You know, it's a funny question for me because I never felt like I began my spiritual journey. There was no beginning. There was just gradual continuing. Since the day we're born, and even before that, we have already embarked on our spiritual journey. Transformation happens in any moment that we give our attention to what needs to grow as a part of us. That happens in many ways, in many forms, and I could tell you a myriad of ways throughout my life that that's happened. And no moment in particular defines the rest. The gradual unfolding, day by day. Cliche, you had asked, what feelings should you be hoping to feel in order to know you're in the present moment? You should be hoping to feel exactly what you're feeling right now. The present moment isn't any particular feeling, or doesn't come with any particular feeling. It is you coming to your feelings, whatever they are. If there's anger there, feel that anger. If there's sadness there, feel that sadness. If there's joy there, feel that joy. Whatever emotions arise, feel them, come to them. And when you are embodying them fully, when you are one with your feelings in that sense, then you are present. When you are avoiding your feelings or trying to chase any particular feeling or running away from another, then you are still on your way to becoming present. You just worry that you see dead people, shares Mia. That sounds like that movie. Do you remember that? I see dead people. That's a very old movie. I don't know how many people will get that reference. Mm-hmm. When we are not in waking consciousness, but in dream, what we are interfacing with is our subconscious. And when you are having sleep paralysis and experiencing these entities, you are looking at parts of your subconscious that haven't been healed yet. So these are parts of you that feel dead or dying. This means that it's, in all likelihood, a fact that you've experienced trauma in your life, probably related to the concept of death. Maybe you felt at some point that you were better off dead, or that you experienced family members or loved ones die or get really close to dying, or you've watched documentaries or seen the horrors of the world, like the many wars and diseases that ravage this earth. And there's still parts of you coming to terms with all of that. So if you can spend more of your time taking care of your subconscious by being careful of what information reaches your conscious mind and how that falls to rest or not rest in your subconscious, slowly these dream experiences will become more and more positive, that you will dream less and less of negative entities and more of positive entities, loving entities, helpful entities, just by taking care of your subconscious, healing, bringing to surface unhealed trauma, attending to that with therapeutic means, and making sure that you give your attention to the good of this world. The practice of gratitude is going to be one of the most helpful things as well. I did take down most of my earlier videos, dear blank. I love that, Lethujin. Nas, you had asked, how can you heal your weird solar plexus from apathy? Your solar plexus is intimately tied with the element of fire and the sun. That's why we call it a solar plexus. Spending time in saunas, spending time in the sun, making sure that you activate your digestive fire, meaning explore a wider range of culinary spices, eat heating foods. Some spices include cumin, for example, pepper, of course. Arugula is very good for that too. And there are many mantras dedicated to the sun or fire. The bija of your solar plexus is formed by the region of our mouth associated with fire when we curl our tongue back, just like a candle flame or any flame, and we let it vibrate in the wind of our aspiration. That sound is very healing for the navel. And additionally, helping your eyesight heal has a strange relationship to both your digestion and your solar plexus chakra. You might pick up on a pattern after I tell you this, that many people that have digestive problems also have eyesight problems, and vice versa. So taking care of both is helpful for your solar plexus chakra, which is symbolized there. That's because the element of fire is associated with our eyesight. All the 5 elements are associated with the 5 jnanendriyas, the 5 organs of perception. Fire is associated with sight because, of course, you need something like fire to give off light, to be a source of light, and without light that we wouldn't be able to see. And thank you, dear Bumble Myth, for your whole galaxy. What a blessing that is. Agnimile purohitam yajnasya devam ritvidram hotaram ratnadhatamam. I hope any of those things help you, dear Nas. Dear Freya, you're hungry for a snack, but you're so cozy in bed. That's funny. I hope that anything in this live stream may be like spiritual snacks. Whether it's like junk food or not, I can't tell you. You'll have to tell me how it affects you. Thank you, Denise, for your rose. Agnif purve bhirshi bhir idyonuta naruta sadevang ehavakshati. And dear Lethujin, thank you for your TikTok and finger heart. Agnina raimashnavat poshameva dive dive yashasam viravattamam. Dear Melissa, thank you for the love, yo. Agneyam yajñam adhwaram vishwataf paribhurasi sa iddeveshu gacchati. Thank you, dear Bumblesmith. Dear Inser, you ask, what do you do when you feel you need more energy? I think I answered this, but it was of course in the past, and you had probably repeated your question so that I'd see it before I had answered it, I assume. Right now I have no way of giving you access to any of the videos that I have done that have been taken down, dear blank. But this live stream is live, meaning we can talk about it together if you want. I think that's one thing that a lot of my viewers might be like to know, is that in absence of the videos that I took down, if you're asking me about them here, you're also talking to the person that created the videos. Meaning, if you ever want to talk about the topics of those videos, I've got something even better for you. And that's an interactive conversation, if you're interested in that, as a compromise. Dear Cliche, you ask, is meditation essential in life? You mean without it will you lack true peace or awareness? Allow me to put it this way. No particular form of meditation is essential, but anything can be made meditative, whether others call it a meditation or not. If it leads you to true peace or awareness, then it is a meditation for you. Thank you, dear Anisak, for your heart meme. Agnirhota kavikratuhu satyas chitra shravastamaha devo deve bhiragamat. Thank you, dear Bhavi, for your rose. Om Kam Prajapataye Namaha. Dear the singing bats, you ask, has everything experienced odd things today, or everyone? Seems like you've read relatable experiences. I'm sure many people relate in that, the singing bats. Dear Innesoda, you had asked, how and when did I start my spiritual transformation? I think this was also one of those questions that I answered, but then you asked again before I was able to answer. Good night, dear Lucy. I'm grateful that my answer hit home for you, dear Cliche. Lethujin, you share the present moment should feel like what's on your face. Smile mean happy. Smile means happy. Laughter means joy. Tears sad. I love that. And Bhavi, thank you for your hat and mustache. Om Kang Jahnavyai Namaha. The Sixth Sense. That's a good movie, dear Pumplemith. There's one spirit in this universe, and we all share a portion of it. Dear Cliche, you ask, am I not afraid of death? A lot of people are afraid to discuss the topic, fear. It's negative. Oh, let me put it this way. I have a will to live. And if something threatens that will to live, there is a part of this life that will do what it can to continue to be alive. And that response is a fear response, it's called. So yeah, it's a part of everyone's life system. But the question is that response happening for you even in absence of any danger? If it is, then there's some recalibration to do. Affirm yourself. If there's no immediate danger right now, then the real danger is just having that response there as it takes you away from the life that it is programmed to help you preserve. So, as a wise man once said, I do not fear my life coming to an end nearly as much as I fear my life not truly beginning. And how can my life truly begin if I'm constantly ruminating on the fear of death? There must be some balance found where, yes, this life is sacred and we should be cautious with the things that we do with it. And our environment is good to be highly aware of, but not so much to the point that it actually takes you away from your ability to live fully. I try to find that balance. Thank you, Illuminate, for your heart meme. Om Adonaya Nama. You're very welcome, dear Meow. Yeah, we do have a second brain and a third brain. Our first brain is made up of human cells. Our second brain is made up of bacterial cells. And our third brain is made up of fungal cells. Taking care of our human cells, our bacterial cells, and our fungal cells is important. We are not just animal. I should say, instead of human cells, I should say animal, because in some way they're all human. Because without a proper bacterial or fungal microbiome, you'd have a very difficult time being human. I will tell you that for free. So being human means being part animal, part bacterial, and part fungal. And thank you, dear Cliche, for your rock star. Hrim Om. So each element is associated with a sense. This is true, dear Cliche. So fire is associated with sight. Sound is associated with space. Touch is associated with air. Taste is associated with water. And smell is associated with earth. And there's even an overlap with the 5 karmendriyas as well, the organs of action. For example, your organ of interaction with the world includes our hands. That's associated with fire. Or sorry, not fire. That is associated with, I'll come back to it by process of manipulation, or by process of elimination. The hands are called the organ of manipulation because we manipulate our world through them. Let me go through the ones that I remember. Our speech is, of course, the complement to our sense of sound, which is associated with the element of space. So our speech, one of our karmendriyas, our outer organs of action, is associated with the element of space. Our digestion is associated with fire. Our organs of locomotion, our feet, is associated with the earth. Our organs of procreation are associated with water. What does that leave us? That leaves us with air. And so our hands are associated with air. And this is in the language of Sanskrit. These are 427. Akasha, space, vayu, air, tejas, fire, apas, water, prithvi, earth. Namaste, dear Anazak. Thank you, dear Apple user. Much love. River, nature walks, beach walks, or mountain trail hikes, rank them. Well, living in a place where you can have rivers next to beaches, next to mountains, I am delighted and blessed to say that you can be on a hike that includes all of them. I love that. It's beautiful, dear Tommy Price. Stormy seas make a better sailor. Yeah. I'm not familiar with Psytrance, dear Ghosty, although I think I can imagine from the name and the vibe that I give you what it might sound like. Thank you for your good night wishes from the UK, dear Simon. Hello, dear Marcy. You have a question, dear Galadriel. You read the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutra translation I've recommended before. What should you look into next? My goodness, you're so fast with it. Normally these scriptures take so long to go through. Well, the next scripture that we're reading currently is the Radiant Sutras. It's our second day starting that today. That is a modern translation and commentary of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Dear, don't at me, or I swear to God. You asked, did I delete my videos out of cringe? In one way, yeah. I suppose there is a sense in which I did cringe. But not out of embarrassment, out of a genuine compassion for my viewers, because I realized that what this world truly needs is not some provocative measure to try to awaken people's minds through what I used to do. Because I know that that's not what I need in order to awaken. I need gentle guidance. I need kindness. I need compassion. And I see that that is so valuable in the world right now, that if I truly come from that place, I feel so much more authentic in what I do and express. Dear Cliche, you share. So, between all of the elements of organs I described, does it come down to balance? Yes, indeed. Balancing the elements is important. By the way, there's a whole third set of 5 inner organs too. There are 5 elements, and there's 3 energies. Like matter and energy, there's the elements, and then there's the qualities. 5 elements are Akasha, space, Vayu, air, Tejas, fire, Apas, water, and Prithvi, earth. And then the 3 energies are Rajas, creation, Sattva, preservation, and Tamas, dissolution. I described the Rajasic, wait a second. I described the Tamasic Indriyas, the energy of dissolution with the 5 elements. These are our 5 organs of action, the Karmendriyas. Then I described the 5 Sattvic Indriyas, the Jnanendriyas. These are the 5 organs of perception. And then there's our inner organs, the 5 Sattvic, or did I say Sattvic? The Rajasic Indriyas are the 5 organs of perception: sight, sound, taste, smell, and feeling. And then there's 5 inner organs of perception, which are the Sattvic, correspond to the Sattvic energy mixing with the elements. That includes the Manas, the mind, which is associated with water; Buddhi, the intellect, which is associated with Tejas, fire; the Ahankara, our sense of self, which is associated with, if I'm not mistaken, the element of air. And then there's our Chitta, our memory, associated with Prithvi, the earth. Or I might have got those last 2 mixed up. I made a video about this for reference. And then there's the Chidakasha, the space of consciousness, which unsurprisingly is associated with Akasha, the element of space. What was the inner quality? The inner quality is Sattvic, sustenance. The outer quality of our actions, of our body, is Tamas, which is the energy of dissolution. Dissolution, meaning to dissolve. And then the intermediary, the mental, the astral, the senses themselves, they are Rajasic, corresponding to the energy of creation. And it's a lot of terms. I would definitely refer you to the video I made on that. Namaskara, dear Dancing Aurora Borealis. Thank you, dear John Tyler, for your heart me, and dearest Anisek for your 10 roses. Mitraya Namaha. That one's for you, dear John Tyler, and for you, Anisek. Om Ravaye Namaha. One piece of advice, if it isn't my place to add to your Galadriel, is that any one of these scriptures you could spend a lifetime on. If you are thinking, oh, I'm going to run out of things to learn from any one in particular, and you're going to have to keep moving on to the next one, then there's something to discover still in any one of the verses of the Yoga Sutras or the Bhagavad Gita. Even a single verse can captivate you for the rest of your life. So I'd encourage you to take your time. In fact, go as slowly as possible. Dear being, you apologize if this sounds rude when you ask. Not at all, but what faith are these beliefs part of? Is it Hinduism? That is, funny enough, not an easy question to answer. These are ancient beliefs that can be found arising independently in many cultures and traditions around the world in space and time. I happen to use the language of Sanskrit, which was preserved in the region known as Bharat, the Indian subcontinent, but they are truly universal and applicable to all paths, faiths, belief systems, especially in the encyclopedia of spirituality that is called Hinduism. Thank you, dear Cliche, for your trio of tiny tinies. Yippee! Hello, dear Shelly Belly. Dear Taylor, you ask, can the outer qualities be compared to mind, body, and spirit soul? The outer qualities are the body. The inner is the spirit soul. And the intermediary is the mind. These are the three bodies: the physical, the astral, and the causal. The body, the mind, and the spirit. Good day, dear Abel. The physical is tamasic. The mind is rajasic. And the soul is sattvic. Am I Capricorn? Asks heart emoji, unicorn emoji, heart emoji. When one begins on the spiritual path, they actually start becoming everything. We all start off with one sign, perhaps. But as we continue on the spiritual path, you become every sign. Just like an avatar in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Some people may be fire, some people may be earth, water, or air. But when you hone everything together like an avatar, you balance all of them. On the day that you were born, the sun may be in one particular constellation. But if you spend that whole year being conscious, the sun moves through all constellations. And if you are as receptive to energy on every day of the year as you were when you were born, then you become every star sign. And over the course of your life, you learn to balance all of them. Libra, Capricorn, Virgo, Aquarius, etc. So if you are quite far on your spiritual path, you're probably already all of them. And everyone here I know is such an advanced soul that you have already transcended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are all of them. Thank you, dear heart emoji, unicorn emoji, heart emoji, for your heart me. Om Namo Buddhaya. You're very welcome, dear being. The Sanatana Dharma, indeed, dear Lethujam. Dear Cliche, you noticed a lot of people make comparisons or assumptions. You don't yourself. You just did. You just compared yourself with those that don't compare. Good night, dear Cliche. It's beautiful, dear Lethu Gem. Hello, dear Sage and Freya, aka Wandering Indigo Child. Finally have a personal account. Welcome. Welcome, dear Manka. Hello, dear Stevie G. Thank you, dear Illuminate. Dear Enzo, you're wondering in what way does this lovely space help me? More ways than I could possibly enumerate, as I get to express the full range of my humanity through these live streams. And I see that reflected in the diverse people that come through here, much like yourself. Thank you. Thank you, dear Sea Pickle. Me too, dear heart emoji, unicorn emoji, heart emoji. Radhe, Radhe, dear Miyananda. So I promised someone that I'd end the live stream before the 3-hour mark. We're at the 2-hour mark and 38-minute mark. See if we can go through the ruminations and the meditation in the next 22 minutes. We'll see. I think we'll be cutting it close. Time for another episode of Ruminations. Thank you, dear Cliche. This poem by Rumi is called The Ruby. At breakfast tea, a beloved asked her lover, "Who do you love more, yourself or me?" From my head to my foot, I have become you. Nothing remains of me but my name. You have your wish, only you exist. I've disappeared like a drop of vinegar in an ocean of honey. A stone which has become a ruby is filled with the qualities of the sun. No stoniness remains in it. If it loves itself, it is loving the sun. And if it loves the sun, it is loving itself. There is no difference between these two lovers. There is no difference between these two loves. Before the stone becomes the ruby, it is its own enemy. Not one, but two exist. The stone is dark and blind to daylight. If it loves itself, it is unfaithful. It intensely resists the sun. If it says, "I," it is all darkness. A pharaoh claims divinity and is brought down. Halaj says the same and is saved. One eye is cursed, another eye is blessed. One eye is a stone, another a crystal. One an enemy of the light, the other a reflector of it. In its inmost consciousness, not through any doctrine, it is one with the light. Work on your stony qualities and become resplendent like the ruby. Practice self-denial and accept difficulty. Always see infinite life in letting the self die. Your stoniness will decrease. Your ruby nature will grow. The signs of self-existence will leave your body, and ecstasy will take you over. Become all-hearing like an ear and gain a ruby earring. Dig a well in the earth of this body, or even before the well is dug. Let God draw the water up. Be always at work scraping the dirt from the well. To everyone who suffers, perseverance brings good fortune. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, has said that each prostration of prayer is a knock on heaven's door. When anyone continues to knock, felicity shows its smiling face. Thank you for listening. That has been another episode of Ruminations. If that sparked any insights, you are always welcome to share what refracts in the ruby of your heart. What is felicity? Asks Cliche. Felicity, you've always loved that word, shares Macaroni. Felicity is one of those words that I feel like I understand it in context, but I wouldn't be able to give you a good definition myself. Let's find out. Felicity is an American drama television series. That's right, Rumi was so clairvoyant that from 800 years ago, he predicted that there would be an American drama television series created by J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves and produced by Imagine Television and Touchstone Television. That's why he's always referencing the touchstone in his poems. Felicity is intense happiness, or the ability to find appropriate expression for one's thoughts. What a beautiful word that is. Me likey. Thank you, dear Joe. Sleep is a spiritual practice. Your bedroom is a planetarium. I love that, Lefujin. Hello, dear Sandhya. All right. You will call a horse, Felicity, one day. I love that, Rhiannon Clark. May it be so. You're still here, dear Cliche. Thank you, dear heart emoji, unicorn emoji, for your rose and GG. Felicity Namaha. I'm just joking. If felicity is an E stem Sanskrit word, which it's not, feminine, then it would translate to Felicity in the dative case if we wanted to turn a mantra out of it. Felicity Namaha. No, I'll give you a proper Sanskrit mantra. Satchitanandaya Namaha. Salutations to the bliss, Ananda, of the truth, Sat, of your consciousness, Thank you, dear Dustin. Thank you, dear Sage and Freya, for your finger heart. Sarve Pushpa Sarva Pushpa Mulaya Namaha. Salutation to the root of all flowers. Dela, you thought you struggled with self-love because wanting alone time, but realized loving others is the answer. That's beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed the Rumi segment, dear Cliche. Thank you for finding humor in that, dear Stevie G. Yeah, me too, dear Macaroni. I love the symbolism of the sun living in the ruby. You thought I just said your name, dear Laya? Mulaya. In Sanskrit, Laya means place. Abode, home, means home. Laya. You know it in the word Himalaya, the mountain region. The Himalaya means the home, alaya, of snow. Himalaya, the home of snow. The more you know, the more you snow. Hello, dear Vuyel. Pushpa, you knew an Indian lady called Pushpa. That's beautiful, it means flower. She was called flower. It comes from the root push, meaning to grow, to extend. Maybe that's where we get the English verb to push too, I don't know. But yeah, Pushpa means literally the one that grows, the one that pushes out of the soil and blossoms. Alright, time for our final meditation to end our live stream off with tonight. Tonight is the 8th night of Navaratri. Navaratri is the 9 Nava nights, Ratri, of the goddess, celebrated in India according to the lunar calendar. On this 8th night, we celebrate a very peaceful and calm form of the goddess. This is following 2 very fearsome forms of the goddess. In fact, we're celebrating specifically the form of the goddess who takes a bath, I kid you not, after she has done her duties, slaying everyone that is deceitful to her, causing terror in her enemies for her children's protection. After she takes a bath, she becomes nice and sweet again. We celebrate that form of the goddess on the 8th night. She is known as Maha Gauri, which means Maha, the great, and Gauri means resplendent, peaceful, lovely. It also has the sense of intelligent as well. So in a more loose translation, you could say this mantra, Om Maha Gauriyai Namaha, means salutations to the goddess of peace and intelligence. It's said that this day is pink, and that pink color represents optimism, a bright future after she has attended to the darkness. So, I've added some pronunciation pointers. For example, the O, A, Ow, I. These are all long vowels. And then the nasalization at the end of the pranava, symbolized there by the M with a dot under it. And at the end of Namaha, there's an H with a dot under it. That's the Visarga, which is like a mini exhale. Sounds like Om Maha Gauri Namaha. And oh, I just realized I forgot to change that to 8. Let me do that for posterity. There. We will be chanting on a mala to count out 108 recitations. Om Maha Gauri Namah. Om Maha Gauri Namah. Om Maha Gauri Namah. Om Namaha. Maha Gauri 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 Namaha. Salutations to the goddess of peace and intelligence. May we bask in her serenity and optimism for a few moments in silence. Happy Navaratri. So that concludes our meditation. And with that, our final portion of our Sangha, Nididhyasana. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you, dear Carrie, for the quartet of hanging lights that you sent. Sadhyojatam prapadyami sadhyojataya vai namo. Namo namaha. Bhave bhave nati bhave bhavaswamam bhavodbhavaya namaha. Thank you, dear Melissa, for your rose. Vamadevaya namo jyeshtaya namah shreshtaya namo rudraya namah kalaya namah kalavikarnaya namo balaya namo balavikarnaya namo balapramathanaya namah sarva bhuta damanaya namo manonmanaya namaha. Thank you, dear Lethujen, for your rose and heart meme. Aghorebhyota Ghorebhyo Aghore tarebhyam Sarvata sarva sarvebhyo Namaste rudra rupebhyam. You heard the Shadow's little meow, dear Dawn. You've got great hearing. Thank you, dear Lethujen. Dhanyavada. Martin, you were wondering, what was the purpose of that mantra? The mantra we did for the goddess is to celebrate that aspect of the divine feminine that comes to peace after dishing out what needs to be dealt. That is to say, the ability for the intellect, for our divine femininity to find resolve in our intellect and come back to a state of calm and peace. Thank you, dear Dancing Aurora Borealis, for your swan. Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Namaste, dear Sophia. I didn't quite make it under the 3-hour mark. I'm 7 hours over time, but anyway, all the better for you. Macaroni, you ask, why is the color orange important? It represents the transformative power of fire, the dawn of a new day, and the sunset of the old. You're very welcome, dear Stevie G. Thank you. Thank you, dear Sophia, for adding to the piece. I'm very grateful for all of you. Thank you to my lovely moderators who help keep the peace also. And if there's any way in which I can make this space more inclusive to you or anyone next time, please let me know. I hope to be a more humble host in the next Sangha, and you can hold me accountable to that. May this live stream be an offering to the divinity within you. Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityurmamritangamaya. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Tat Sat. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to the light, from death to deathlessness. May there be peace in us, may there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. And you're very welcome, dear Macaroni. Room tour? Ask Lethargen. Maybe another time. My phone is actually tethered to my computer, so I wouldn't be able to go very far. As it is the cord itself, the cable that connects the phone to the computer, that is delivering the video. We'd lose that very quickly if I moved about. In the same way that we would move the light that illumines our conscious field if we were to untether ourselves from our source very quickly. So don't do that. You're funny, dear wandering indigo child. My bed is actually pretty made at the moment. Thank you, dear Stevie G. May you all have a wonderful rest of your present, whether it be in the form of a morning, an afternoon, an evening, or a night, or whatever other time and the place that you are. May the rest of this moment be wonderful, exciting, peaceful, and relaxing, all at the same time. This live stream will be uploaded to my Yamsox ASMR YouTube channel, because that's where I post the Sunday streams with the intention for peace and relaxation. That's always an intention, but an extra special effort is made to ensure that during these days, in case you find that helpful. And if there's anything I couldn't attend to during these live streams, my inboxes are always open on Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, or email. Everything I do is free, and you're always welcome to join the Telegram group chat or the Discord server. All of those things are linked in the link tree in my bio. Thank you, dear LJ, for your finger heart and flowers. Ishana sarva vidyanam ishwar sarva bhutanam Brahmadhipati Brahmanodhipatir Brahma Shivo me astu sa eva sada shiva om. Thank you, dear Gina, for your rose. Bhairava Rudhraya Maha Rudhraya Kala Rudhraya Kalpanta Rudhraya Vira Rudhraya Rudra Rudhraya Ghora Rudhraya Aghora Rudhraya Martanda Rudhraya Anda Rudhraya Brahmanda Rudhraya Chanda Rudhraya Prachanda Rudhraya Tanda Rudhraya Shura Rudhraya Vira Rudraya Bhava Rudraya Bhima Rudraya Atala Rudraya Vitala Rudraya Sutala Rudraya Mahatala Rudraya Rasatala Rudraya Talatala Rudraya Patala Rudraya Namo Namaha. Thank you, dear Lori, for your heart meme. Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha. And thank you for your tiny as well. Yippee! You finished painting the walls the same time as I'm finishing. Perfect, dear G. I'll talk to you soon. I look forward to our movie night tonight. Take care, everyone. Namaskar.